in. Good afternoon. Welcome everyone to our activity today as part of the English language day celebration. Okay, an event organized by the CDLE, UCAB, and of course by UCABLingo, with the purpose of practicing English and knowing a little bit more about this day. Okay, so, well, English Language Day is a United Nations observance that people celebrate on April 23rd. Okay, but of course we wouldn't be able to do the conversation clubs tomorrow, so here we are. Just for you to know, the celebration of the English language was chosen because it is thought to be Shakespeare's birthday. Okay, so also the anniversary of his death. And as you know, well, being the English language most famous playwright, Shakespeare also had a huge impact on modern day English, right? He contributed to hundreds of new words and phrases that are still used today. For example, the word lonely. Did you know that? Also, fashionable, for example, they are supposed to be used first by Shakespeare, okay? And well, nowadays more than 1.75 billion people speak English. Okay, so that's why English is often referred to as the world language, right? And well, this is why it is also called the lingua franca. And this day was first celebrated in by the United Nations in 2010. Okay, so this day is for basically for entertaining, informing people about the history of the language, the culture, very important. Also the achievements associated with the language. People celebrate that doing activities like this, like our clubs we are having today, right? So for that, el Centro para el Desarrollo de Lenguas Extranjeras is really excited to present formally, okay, the group that will be guiding the clubs today. This is a very special occasion for us because these students are the ones who have made possible the conversation clubs we offer to our students completely free every semester. Okay, they have been working with us since 2017. Okay, now since 2017, some of them from the very beginning and others have joined us along the way. Well, but they are also talented and so committed to help others to achieve one of our main goals, which is improving communicative skills in foreign language in our university. So recently, they have managed to be formally established as one of the groups of UCAB, and they are one of a kind because they are the first and only group that gathers the bilingual students of Andrés Bello Catholic University, who are focused on promoting foreign languages and cultures. We are sure they are going to offer and add very interesting things to our community, and they are going to accomplish great things. So we officially and very proudly welcome UCABLingo.
Hello, we're so excited, and UCABLingo would like to thank the CDLE so much because you've been helping us to make this come true and bring new activities from students to students with your help, and that's amazing. So thank you, Liz. And with that, we can start our presentation of today. Nice to meet you. I'm Maria Isabel Roman, but you can call me Maui. I'm one of the moderators that started with the CDLE for the conversation clubs. And today we wanted to introduce ourselves a little bit. We wanted to have a nice activity for the English Language Day, and that's why we're here today. Could you pass the slide, please? So we want to formally say hello and welcome to UCABLingo. Next slide, please. For today's schedule, we have a nice event prepared for you. Hello, Alejandro. We will first have an introduction where we'll talk a little bit about UCABLingo, where we come from. We want to make you part of this family that we like so much. Then we're going to talk about tips for English learners that we really like, and we would love to hear your tips as well. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and divide ourselves to have conversation clubs that we hope you love as much as we do. Next one, please. So UCABLingo is a new student organization that works towards sharing knowledge and promoting the engagement of UCABistas in activities related to foreign languages and cultures. This new student organization just started a few months ago. Next slide, please. And so we want to talk to you a little bit about who we are, what's UCABLingo. And for that, there's someone that is really special. Her name is Camila Cacherian, and she's one of the moderators that started from the origins of the moderation clubs, of the conversation clubs. So welcome, Cami. Are you there?
Yes, I am here. Hi, I am very happy to be here, and I love the idea of presenting the origin story of UCABLingo. So it all started with a teacher named Annette Damata. She was a teacher of English in engineering, and she did conversation clubs with her students just to make it more fun, to make learning English more fun. And she realized, hey, this is really good. This is great. We're having fun. And she was also the director, the former director of the CDLE, El Centro para el Desarrollo de Lenguas Extranjeras, our mother organization. And she decided, hey, I'm going to try this. And she launched a pilot with professors as participants. And it was a great hit. So she decided that, okay, they should go to students from every part of the university, not only engineering. So she launched an open call through the academic mail. So it's important to read your mail, guys. Important stuff comes there. Please do. That's where I read the open call and I assisted, and she did interviews to all of us. She assessed our skills. And then we had this introduction program for a day, and she taught us basically.
I think Tami has some connectivity issues, but what she was saying is that she started back when all of this was like in transition to become activity for students from the Centro para el Desarrollo de Lenguas Extranjeras. And so then she's one of the first kind of groups that actually started with conversation clubs. And now we're so proud of it because we started, like Liz said, in 2017. And now, since 2 years ago, when we saw like we could be so much bigger and we could do so many more things with students, we thought, well, like we could take another step and become a student organization. All this paperwork started like 2 years ago before the pandemic. And now we are super happy that it's finally becoming a thing. So I would like to introduce you a little bit. Cami, I don't know if you want to say something else since you're here. I think you can hear us now.
My internet failed for a second. It happens. Yeah. Thankfully, Maui is the best and she knows everything. Yes, so we started the conversation clubs, and 2 years ago, like Maui said, we did the paperwork. It was a hard journey to get to be a student organization, and we did it finally. And now we are able to do events like this with the hand always of the CDLE, which are our guides, our, you know, our lights in the dark, let's say. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we pass to the tips for English learners, we would like to introduce ourselves. Here, the panelists are here today. I am Maria Isabel, but you can also call me Maui. I am the General Director of UCABLingo. I try to keep communication with TIDES and also with the CDLE. Also, right now, he's not here, but there's also Diego. He's our administrative help, like he's the director that keeps everything organized, that writes like all of our meetings and what we do. Then there's Cami. I don't know if she's here.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm here.
Well,
yes, I am part of what
Cami?
we call, I'm sorry, I am part of what we call the circle of the wise in a joke way, because we are already graduated. We are alumni of UCAB, but we really love the UCABLingo and the whole idea of this. And so we stayed. It's more than me, it's not only me. And yeah, we come and give a hand whenever we can, and we always want to, and we come to the meetings and give our opinions. And yeah, so we're like support.
Then there's also Andresa and Arancha, and also Andreina. She's there in the public, but she is the director of social media. We love you too.
Yeah, guys.
So, hi, my name is Arancha. I'm the director of alliances. So basically, I'm in charge of collaborating with other students' organizations. So welcome to UCABLingo. I hope you have a nice time here, and well, see you later.
Guys, it's a pleasure. My name is Andres. I'm Andres Navarro. I am actually the chief events director. I know if it's the exactly name that I should give it to my church, but what I do mainly is try to find the resources that we need as an organization to do some events. So that's mainly what I do.
So now we can start with the tips for English learners, right?
Yep. So right now, guys, we will share a little bit over advices and tips that we have followed all the road to be able to go the level of English that we go right now. In any time that you would like, feel free to share with us in the chat, or maybe raise your hand to share with the other persons and to all the people what have you done that it made you great at speaking English. I don't know if you would like to say something, Aranza, over the listening tips that you have got doing all the wrong.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. For the first tip, the listening one, I usually watch a lot of cartoons, movies, and stuff like that, all in English. And I try to push myself to do that without the dubbing. So that helps me catching up with words that I don't know. It also helps me with pronunciation and stuff like that. So for this tip, I will recommend to try to watch stuff you like in Netflix or whatever, that it's according to your level. If you're a beginner and you basically don't know many words, you can start with old cartoons you used to watch when you were a kid. And if you are intermediate or advanced, you can move on with movies and stuff like that.
Maui, did you do something different, or you are in the same line?
I have a different tip that maybe is a little bit more boring, but I think that if you want to start, if you want to learn to listen like really, really well, and you want to do it fast, what actually helped me a lot was to take tests. You know, these tests like to assess your level in a language, like to see if you're an A1, AB2, or whatever. You can take those tests, the listening part, and try to make like a little text every day and try to listen, and then re-listen once you know how the activity is. And I swear, like, you will learn so much faster because you are taking tests of listening that are supposed to teach you things that are useful for your listening skills. So I think that's a super tip. It helps a lot.
And also, guys, you have to notice that it's not completely necessary that you spend a lot of time every week doing that kind of stuff that will help you to improve your listening skills. You should use your dead times to doesn't cope over your time. And also a thing that I really do that it helps me a lot is all the media that I'm consuming, I put it in a speak back more than one, and that's helped me to be able to understand what other people are talking about in an increasing speed. Talking about the speaking, Arans, I don't know if you do something different over the purpose speaking.
Well, Andres, we are noticing that we have people with their hands up. So I don't know if you want to give them the word so they can share with us.
Sure, the thing is like I don't know who is with the raise hand. It doesn't
Don't
appear
worry,
me.
I can allow them. I have them here. I'll allow Adriana Bañez to talk. Hello, Adriana. Are you here?
Hello. Yes,
How
I'm a
are
pro-
you?
yeah, fine, fine. I'm a professor. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. Do you have another tip for listening?
Hmm. Mm, I usually listen podcast in English, maybe,
Mhm.
or TV shows, or movies, or something like that.
That's really useful.
The thing is that you have to find something that you really enjoy watching it or listen to it and make able to doing the long road sustainable. And it's a really good idea to use every single uh,
Resource.
uh, research that you would be able to use to improve what are you trying to achieve. That is a better experience speaking English. So it's listening, but it's part of the road.
Yeah.
Maui, did you do something different? Or era Arancha?
For speaking, you mean?
Mhm.
For speaking, you know how in Spanish or in either language, like when you talk your mother tongue, right? So when we talk Spanish, we usually like to imitate other languages accent, like just for fun. So for example, if I were to speak Spanish, I would say, as a French person, I would say, oh, este caracol está muy divino, something like that, just making fun of it. I think you can do that, but then make it like you're making fun of it, kind of, not really making fun, but like imitating it in the language you're speaking or that you're imitating. So that's really cool because actually you kind of like exaggerate the motion of imitation, and then with time you can just like make it less noticeable and just talk more fluently and with a way better accent, because you're not trying to talk with your Spanish accent in the other language, but rather using the accent of that language to express yourself. I think that's really, really useful.
I completely agree. Girls, remember that I am not able, I don't know why, to see the raisins on the chat. So if you saw someone who is raising up your hands, please give him the right to speak. Okay? Mm, and talking about more tips or advices that you would do in a general way, what would you what would you choose, Aranza? Or I don't know if anyone has something that normally do that help him or her a lot when it comes to speaking another language.
Well, I think I mean, this is like the most basic tip. Like, if you Google how can I learn English faster? You will get this tip because it's the most basic one. But the thing is, when you start doing stuff you like, stuff that makes you have fun, makes you happy, when you start doing all of that in English, it gets more easy because you don't see it as something you have to do because you have to work or because you have to do homework or stuff like that. No, it's just like when you decide to play a video game or something like that, it's a free time you have, a hobby. So your brain is, it's like stress-free, you know? So you learn easily. For example, I learned English because I used to spend a lot of time in school in Tumblr. And I used to follow a lot of people that are native English speakers. So at one point, my whole feed was covered in these people's posts and stuff like that. And that helped me a lot with the speaking, reading, listening, and stuff like that. So yeah, Tumblr is a classic, you know? So you can do that with Instagram, with Twitter. You can look up for memes and stuff like that. Stuff that it's just free time, you know? And that will eventually help you to advance with your skills.
That's super useful.
Yeah, I believe that everything that you do at the end, it's assumed, and all those little details that we're adding to that assume, are the ones that at the end made the difference. And also, a thing that I got really useful to learn some language is get surrounded over people who got the same goals that you got. So if you are trying to grade your English level or any language that you're trying to learn, it's really good to get surrounded by people who are trying to do the same. You could share time speaking, and that's also another way to be practicing all time English. Maui,
Yes. Other tips? Let me see.
that you would like to add over doing every single thing in English, like Aranza said, or adding those kind of details that would make you the difference.
Like, to me, also, it's really useful, like, to learn any language, not just English. It is so nice just to get immersed in the language. So it's kind of like when you start learning the language you speak from the beginning of your time, like from the time you were born, the way you learned that language is because everything that you heard, everything that you would see, everything, like everything would be in that language, you know? So immersion works really well because you, like, if you, okay, so we are in university, we're Venezuelans, we live in Venezuela, we speak Spanish every single day. That's awesome. But maybe you could try to get English or any other language you want to learn into your daily life. So maybe write a journal in another language of your daily life instead of Spanish. Maybe try not to watch TV shows in another language that is not different from Spanish. You know, just try to get every single day a little bit of that other language in reading, in speaking, in writing. And that's so awesome because you're literally going to make connections in your brain. It's crazy, just like a baby. When the baby starts to learn the language, they are going to speak with their parents and their environment. So that's super cool. Immersion is super cool, and you can do it in so many ways. And just like Arantxa said, you can do it like with things that are fun, with things that you are interested in. And that, I think, is really, really nice.
Yeah, I believe that we start doing something, in the case learning a language with a purpose. I remember that the thing that made me wanna learn English was that my parent gave me my first video console. It was a PS3, I believe. I'm not completely sure. The thing it was that I wasn't able to turn into another language, and I only could play it in English. And all the games were in English. I don't know what my parent took over the settings. I don't know what happened, but the thing is that if I would like to play and understand what I'm doing, I must speak English or at least understand what are the following crap to be able to play it with sense. How do you end up speaking English, Maui?
Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
How do you end up speaking English? Wanted to speak English.
Well, I think like what you said really useful. I don't know what you think. Like, you know, the director from Parasite, the Korean director, he's awesome. And something nice that he said was like, you know, you can learn so much more and you can, I mean, about life, about things, just by learning a new language. And I think that's right. I think you learn English, you learn French, you learn Korean, you learn whatever language you want. And you can see the world just so much more differently just because you change your chip instead of, you know, just sticking to your language. Andres, I don't know if you can see the comment of Oriana that she wants to share with us, with the group.
Oriana said, I think getting into culture of the language, it is a must. To do so, you can understand the contents of many sayings, regular questions, or ways to say or express things in that language you are learning. In this case, English. No, it's completely true. It's, in a way, certain things that we are touching over the media that we consume every day, all the little thoughts we are doing, putting our phone in English, or the video games that we're playing on English to get like a really good environment to boost yourself into a way to be able to learn a language in a really quick way. I don't know if you take so long, Aranza, to learn English. How much time do you spend before you feel like you were able to speak it like properly or to understand it?
Well, I think it took me like, well, maybe because I'm a shy person, so it's more complicated for me to try to talk another language. But I think after I learned the basics, the food, the greetings, stuff like that, maybe 5 years. But because I'm shy, okay? So don't get distressed because of that. You could start way before, earlier. If you are like in the CDLE or something like that, you can practice with other classmates and stuff like that. It can help you to improve your English. We have Andreina Aguilar with her hand up. Maybe she wants to share something with us.
Andrein, are you there? You're able to speak if you would like.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I was waiting so I could be unmuted. Hello, first. Well, what I wanted to say was more like a tip that I have that goes a bit with speaking. Something that I found recently, and it really helps a lot with fluency, is that sometimes we're very used to try to, like practice words, like specifically. But in English, actually, it helps you a lot with your fluency to practice sentences, because something in particular with this language is that according to what you're saying in a sentence, sometimes you don't say the full word. Instead, kind of like you contract some parts of it. And so, like when you really try to say the sentence instead of the whole word, the whole word, you start sounding more native. That's normally something that we kind of want to achieve, strive to achieve. So yeah, we tend to, like, when we talk, we try to say every single word, completely, and that's that's a really good tip if you want to try to sound more native.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like the
that's it.
pronunciation changes when you put words together instead of just one word alone.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you guys. There is a question in the chat from Professor Adriana. She said, sorry, I have a meeting now. Excellent initiative. How could we invite the students from my school to the UCABLingo experience?
Thank you very much, teacher, for your time. It was excellent to have you over the meeting. I don't
Yeah,
know,
you can
guys.
contact us through mail, I think, and then we can pair up to see your students from your school. We would be super excited.
And it will be so helpful that if you are really aware over what we are posting in Instagram, because we will be so active over there. And if we open up the conversation clubs or another stuff, you will see it as quick as you can in the Instagram point, in the Instagram account. So go to follow us, @UCABLingo. Mhm. After that spam, I don't know if you would like to jump over the conversation clubs. That is something that we are doing since 2016, I believe. Well, Camila is the one who really have been doing it that long way, but I don't know if you would like to refer that, share something new, or share another different kind of thing that you have done to grade or to learn the English level. Andreina, do you have something?
On what? Sorry, like my internet kind of, I didn't quite hear you.
Overly in general, another kind of advice that we didn't have a talk already, but that you have done to be able to get the English level that you got right now.
Um, well, I think something in particular that I did a lot, that's kind of what we said with immersion, but specifically was that I really like to watch stand-ups on English. And I think you really know you're getting the hang of another language when you actually see a stand-up and it makes you laugh, because then you're getting a bunch of, context and words and things that are part of that culture that then, like, you kind of realize, like, hey, yeah, that makes me laugh. Didn't, that's a big game changer.
Interesting. I haven't got the opportunity to see stand-up in English. It's like it's not the feedback that I am trying to find when I would like to see a stand-up. It's different. They got like a different vibe.
And you laugh. That's the best part. And also, I don't remember if it was Ariana or Oriana that said, like, oh, to get in touch with the culture of the language you want to learn is so useful and stuff. And like, like watching like comedy shows, not like stand-ups and stuff. It's just laughing over your culture. There's also this comment from Johnny Soho. He says, I think it can be really useful to find a friend or partner to practice speaking. For example, sometimes I used to practice with a friend by only speaking in English throughout the day. Yes. I don't know who said in the chat before that they had that they would chat on Discord, or they would talk through Discord with other people in their in the language they wanted to learn. The cool thing is that there are so many apps and so many ways you can do this. For example, in the Centro para el Desarrollo de Lenguas Extranjeras, they have this program where you can talk like with natives in English and Spanish so that you both get to practice. There are other apps. For example, there's this one that's called, I don't remember the app, but basically you can find people who want to speak the language you already speak, and you can just like engage with them and speak both languages so that you both improve. That's really cool. What do you think, Andres?
No, totally. I remember that when I really got focused over increase much fast my English level, I make like an arrangement with my brother that he speaks better than me English. So on the house we only speak on English like during a whole year, and that really helped me to lose that. It's not fear. I wouldn't call it fear because I am not a shy person, but it's the thing that I'm really competitive and I don't really like to make so much mistakes when I'm speaking. So at the beginning, I haven't been speaking too much, and the only way to be able to properly speak it. It sounds completely obvious, but it is. And after you realize that you would make errors, and it doesn't matter if you have been practicing 20 years, you would make error at least uh, one once upon a time. But well, that's like the key to lose the fear. You know, it was
That's
really
real
helpful.
nice. I'm still surprised that you talked in your home for a whole year. A whole year in English. I don't know if this happens to anyone else here, but in my home, like we try to practice English and stuff, but it's just so awkward. It's like I talk to my brother and I'm like, stop, just talk to me in Spanish, please stop. I don't know how you did it. That's
It,
compromise.
it was
to
so
learn
funny
English.
because my parents doesn't know a single word in English, so they watch us all the time speaking in English, and obviously they didn't understand a single word. So it was really rare. We right now we rarely speak in English, but once upon a time we used to do it so much frequently, like every day, because I live with him. So but I don't know, guys, if you would like to start right now the conversation clubs.
Yeah, we can move on with the conversation clubs now, if you'd like. So if you could pass the slide, please. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for hearing us talking about our student organization, about UCABLingo, history, and stuff like that. But now we are going to begin with the most expected part of the day, right? Before we move forwards, I'd like to ask you if you have any more questions or anything like that. You can raise your hands or leave it on the chat. If not, you can see Genesis' message. She's asking you to complete a form about your experience today. If you could save that link for later, it will mean a lot for us. So, oh, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Our user is UCABLingo, just like the tiny logo you have there. So let's begin. I don't know if you can move the slide, please. Pass the slide. Okay, next one, please. Okay, guys, so we have over 12 attendees today. So we are going to separate in two groups, okay? One of 6 and the other 6. And you will have to join a separate room. You have the link in the chat. I will name who can join me or who can join Mariana later. But first, keep in mind that you have to choose a topic, okay? We have 2 topics for today. How will the world end? This is about apocalypse stuff and stuff like that. And about random stuff over Venezuelan food, yeah? Keep that in mind because we are going to work with that in the conversation club. Now, I'm going to name 6 people that are going to work with Mariana Nordello, and the other 6 are going to work with me, okay? So, Andreina Aguilar, Antulio, Ariana Tavide, sorry if I spelled it wrong, Gabriela Saavedra, Johnny Soho, Juan Gonzalez. You 6 are going to join Mariana's room, okay? You have the link in the chat box. The rest, like Laura Guerrero, oh, sorry. Well, it doesn't matter. Laura Guerrero, Oriana Núñez, and Veronica Flores and Victoria Miranda are going to join me, yes? Do you want me to repeat again? I think it was kind of messy.
It will be so helpful if you repeat it again at least one time in the case that someone haven't been able to listen.
Okay, the ones that are going to join Mariana's room are Andrina Aguilar, Antulio, Ariana Tavide, Gabriela Saavedra, Johnny Soho, and Juan Gonzalez. Those ones. The rest are going to join me in my club. So if you guys could start joining these rooms, it will be useful so we can start the fastest as we can.
Yeah, so just in case, Andres and I will be here for a little bit more up until you guys join your clubs so that Ancha can go to her club. Are there any doubts? It's all okay.
Don't worry, guys, if you don't have any kind of question that you would like to ask, we will be meeting each other in the conversation club with Mariam and with Arancha. I don't know if Maui will you end with Mariam and I will go with Arancha to participate.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that's it, guys.
And Tulio, you can go to Arancha's link, also Ariana. Laura, you can go to Arancha's link. Look for your names below.
Yeah, I already have Oriana Núñez, Veronica Flores, and Victoria Miranda.
Awesome.
Okay. Teacher, you could feel free to choose the moderator that you feel more comfortable with. Profe Karen, I am talking with Profe Karen.
Oh, Johnny, yes.